Describe a home that you visited but did not want to live in. You should say where it is, what it is like, why you visited it, and explain why you would not like to live there.
The examiner will give you a minute to prepare for this topic. Along with that, you will get pen and paper for your preparation. I highly suggest you only write the less common vocabulary and expressions you intend to use in your answer. If you're having a hard time coming up with ideas for this topic, I suggest you choose something related to your travel experience. Choose a place that gave you an inconvenience, such as a poor bathroom, no electricity, or far from public transportation. But don't be super negative. Try to remain objective. A quick reminder, you don't need to talk about all the subtopics, but they will be very helpful in organizing your thoughts. Don't worry if you miss one or two subtopics. As long as you stay in the main topic, you're in good hands. Take a look at this example. Without further ado, let me take this chance to talk about an abode that I stayed at but wasn't really interested in becoming a tenant of. The location of this place is remarkably picturesque, as it's a beach house with an open view of the ocean. I'd say it takes about 3 hours by car to get there because it's situated in the southern part of my country, and it takes a long drive to reach that destination. First off, this place is a total paradise. I mean, it's a white sand beach with some kind of sandbar during low tide. You can find shades under the tropical trees dotted around the area. Well, the house itself looked like a landmark because of its traditional and simplistic design. It's a wooden house, maybe built ages ago, but it's still standing strong. I vividly remember visiting that place with my friends for our summer getaway. We booked that accommodation through Airbnb, and we got it at a discount. We stayed for about 3 days and 2 nights, and the rest was history. I think it's pretty obvious now how I was enthralled by that vacation. However, I wouldn't say I'd live in that kind of place. What I mean is that it didn't feel like home. You know, it's just a place you run to if you want to unwind or take a breather, but soon you have to go back to reality. Living in that place also means that I'd be far from my family, friends, and even my job, which I can't afford ever. I'm open to paying that place a visit one more time one of these days, but all things considered, I'm no way near settling in that kind of place. Now this is your chance to screenshot this answer. Practice recording yourself reading it. Less common vocabularies and expressions. Here are some of the less common vocabularies and expressions we used in our Part 2 answer. Be sure to remember and use them in your IELTS training sessions. Without further ado, becoming a tenant of. Remarkably picturesque. It takes a long drive. A total paradise. Find shades. Dotted around the area. Built ages ago. Summer getaway. Got it at a discount. The rest was history. I think it's pretty obvious now. I was enthralled. To unwind. Take a breather. Go back to reality. I'm open to. Paying a visit. All things considered. No way near.
Do people in your country like to visit others' homes?
When it comes to visiting people's homes, I'm convinced that everyone in my country is fond of doing it. Well, I think it has something to do with curiosity. I mean, people are often intrigued by others' abode, especially if it's someone close to them. I think it's one more way of strengthening friendship or bonds if you're able to visit someone's home. You know, it feels like being welcomed to their private place. Well, that being said, some people typically visit on a Friday night or weekend so they can stick around longer or spend the night.
Do people in your country like to visit others' homes?
The way I see it, I don't think it's people's cup of tea to visit others' home in my country. What I mean is that the bottom line of this topic is privacy. Well, come to think of it, somebody's home is the most private space in his life, and invading that space is just too rude. We need to also consider the homeowner's feelings about having guests because some of them are not comfortable with that idea. Let me say this. People in my country have this collective view that dropping by someone's home unannounced or uninvited is flat out wrong. To put it simply, people in my country are not a fan of visiting others' residents.
What do people in your country do when they visit others?
As far as I'm concerned, there are a remarkable number of activities people do when visiting others. Let's say one of them involves having chit chat for many long hours. You know, we can't deny people's hunger for conversation, especially if it's with someone they gel with. Another activity I can think of is drinking alcohol. I mean, nothing fuels a good talk than a bottle of whiskey, scotch, or beer. And let's not forget about bringing customary gifts like food and snacks. Some even bring gifts like toys when they visit a household with a kid. In other words, there are a variety of things to do.
What do people in your country do when they visit others?
Hmm, that's an interesting question. But if it's about the activities, I'm sure it depends on where they visit. First off, if they visit the workplace, usually they just go for a coffee or lunch. The activity just revolves around catching up or getting in touch. Say, if they pay a home visit, there's an array of fun stuff they can do like drinking, playing board games, or even doing a movie marathon. However, if they visit someone at the hospital, they are required to bring some fruit baskets or food. They need to also soothe the person and show him sympathy. Wishing him good health and a speedy recovery is a good idea too.
What kind of place do people in your country like to live in?
That's a tough question for sure. But I think people in my country opt to live in single detached houses for the reason that they enjoy a bigger living space as well as the sense of community or neighborhood around them. When it comes to houses, they are equipped with a bigger land area, which means you can have your very own backyard or front yard. Your activities could also range from gardening to having your own workshop. Neighbors also respect each other and take pride in creating a non hostile environment. Not just that, but also the level of privacy is immense that you need not worry about noise or eavesdropping people. In short, people in my country choose to live in houses for overwhelming reasons.
What kind of place do people in your country like to live in?
Let me think, I haven't really thought about this one, but in my country, people are increasingly drawn to the idea of living in apartments. This is generally linked to the affordable price of living in flats. Not only are you required to pay the minimum monthly rental fee, but also you don't need to deal with the tax duties of that property. Some apartments or condos come with amenities like a swimming pool, gym, and even a library, which are very enticing. On top of that, most of them can be found in strategic locations like near the bus stop or subway station. Others are right in the downtown business district, which is a walking distance from people's workplaces. Long story short, the advantages of living in apartments are captivating for people in my country.
What's the difference between homes in cities and those in the countryside?
Oh, that's a curious question. I think when it comes to this topic, I believe the bottom line is home design. Say in cities, houses look modern and lush. I think it's because some homeowners are keen on hiring, what do you call them? Interior designers to beautify their places. For those with smaller budgets, they can still access shops and stores easily. In short, they can decorate their homes anytime they want. Whereas in the countryside, houses look more traditional and local. I think it has something to do with the simplistic lifestyle they maintain. Some houses are still wooden, and people don't get bothered by the appearance of their homes, as long as they have a roof over their heads.
What's the difference between homes in cities and those in the countryside?
Let me see. My 2 cents on this topic is that urban homes are smaller but pricier, and rural homes are bigger but more affordable. It's actually kind of ironic. Anyway, most cities are overpopulated, which means they have a few land areas to build houses on. That's why housing prices are inflated. Some can't even buy their own houses and just opt to rent apartments. On the other hand, houses in the countrysides have bigger land areas. That means you can have your own front and backyards. What else? The prices are also reasonable since only a limited number of people are living there, so the demand is low. On the whole, there's a stellar difference between houses in cities and the countryside.